Deep in the hot sands of ancient Nubia, where the Nile River bends like a sleeping serpent, there stood temples older than memory itself. These temples were not like the ones built for the gods of Egypt. No, these were sacred places for the crocodile gods, mighty and feared, rulers of water and land. The people of Nubia worshipped them, for they knew the power of the crocodile. Its jaws could crush bone, yet its presence meant life, for where the crocodile swam, the waters were fertile, and the land was rich. Long ago, before kings ruled with golden crowns, the Nubians believed the first crocodile god was born from the mud of the Nile. His name was Sobek, though some called him Suchos. He was not just a beast of the river, but a god of strength, a protector of the people. They said his scales were like armor, his eyes held the secrets of the deep, and his voice was the roar of the rushing waters. When Sobek moved, the earth trembled. When he spoke, the people listened. The greatest temple of Sobek stood in a place called Dabod, near the edge of the desert. Its walls were carved with stories of the god rising from the Nile, his great tail whipping the waves into foam. Inside, the priests wore robes of green and gold, the colors of the crocodile's hide under the sun. They fed the sacred crocodiles that lived in the temple pools, giving them honey and meat. For it was said that these beasts were the children of Sobek himself. One such crocodile was named Petesuchos. He was larger than any other, his back as wide as a boat, his teeth like daggers. The people believed he was Sobek in flesh, and so they brought him offerings, gifts of fish, golden rings, and even small statues carved in his image. They whispered prayers to him, asking for safety when they sailed the Nile and for rain when the land was dry. But not all crocodile gods were kind. There was another, a fierce and terrible one named Maga. Unlike Sobek, who brought balance, Maga was chaos. He was the storm in the river, the sudden rush of water that drowned villages, the hunger that made crocodiles hunt men. The people feared him, but they also respected him, for they knew that to ignore Maga was to invite disaster. In the temple of Dhaka, far to the south, priests performed rituals to calm his rage. They threw silver into the water and sang old songs, hoping to keep his fury at bay. The legends say that one year, Nile did not flood. The land cracked under the sun, the crops withered, and the people starved. The priests of Sobek prayed, but the waters remained low. Then, a wise woman named Amara spoke. She said Maga was angry because the people had forgotten him. They had given all their praise to Sobek, and none to the god of storms. So the people went to the riverbank, carrying offerings of milk and bread. They called Maga's name, begging for his mercy. That night, thunder rolled across the sky, though no clouds had been seen for months. The wind howled, and the Nile began to rise. By morning, the river had flooded its banks, covering the dry earth with rich black mud. The people rejoiced, for they knew Maga had answered them. From that day on, they honored both gods. Sobek, who gave them life, and Maga, who reminded them of nature's power. As time passed, the temples of the crocodile gods grew quiet. New beliefs came to Nubia, and the old ways faded. The sacred crocodiles of the pools were gone, and the carvings on the walls were worn smooth by wind and sand. But even now, if you stand by the Nile at dusk, when the water is still and the sky is red, you might hear a whisper, a deep, slow sound, like the ripple of a great tale beneath the surface. Some say it is Sobek, watching over the river as he always has. Others say it is Maga, laughing in the dark. The crocodile gods of Nubia are not forgotten. They wait in the depths, in the stories carved in stone, in the hearts of those who remember. For the Nile was theirs long before it was ours, and the gods do not vanish, they sleep. And one day, when the world turns its gaze back to the old ways, they may wake again.